missed it. Yahtzee. We're in.
Yahtzee. Hello, hello.
People. And we're back.
We're back. We are back. I think this is episode 10.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I've kind of lost track at this point.
In a good way.
Yes, in a very good way.
Definitely lost track in a good way.
It is in a very good way. You know, it's cool, man. Like I've gotten some feedback about what we talk about and you know the things in general, and like people are digging the free forum, which I absolutely like too. So
I've been getting the same feedback from a couple of friends of mine that have listened, and then just some random feedback. So one of the things is that I thought was the coolest was somebody said that we're definitely relatable. And it was from somebody who I didn't think would relate. So
no, absolutely, man, absolutely. Like I've gotten that feedback as well, which is awesome. You know, and I'm just appreciative of the people that are listening in and you know kind of following us and seeing what's up. Although once you guys check out this video, you got to check out Brandon's swag. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yes. The DMD hat.
That's the DMD 84.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, it's looking nice, man. Not because you know it's our shit, but because it's nice. I mean, I would tell you if it looks stupid and it was our shit, I would still tell you it's stupid. That's just how it is.
You that stupid ass hat.
Right, it's a stupid ass hat, but no, it's a nice swag. Awesome. It's a nice hat, man. It's a nice hat. So, dude, okay. Normally we talk about like what we've seen throughout the week, any current events. Let me talk to you about some real shit, right?
All right, let's go.
So I feel like this week has kicked my ass in terms of like what is going on with life. Like it just seems like everything piled on this week.
Oh, dude, maybe it's something. Maybe there is something to the universes aligning, because I have been in the exact same boat.
It's crazy,
dude. I forgot today was Friday.
You know what's crazy is that like okay, so I usually run on this schedule where like we make a grocery list on Sunday and then we order it and then we pick it up. By the way, picking up groceries is like the best invention next to the toilet. Like the toilet is number one invention. Number two is got to be grocery pickup because I fucking hate going to the grocery store.
Honestly, the grocery store infuriates me even more now than it ever did before. So I am right there with you.
So that said, you know, like I usually set up this schedule where like we order on Sunday night and then we pick it up Monday. Dude, I couldn't even do that. Like that's how busy this week has been.
And that's crazy. Like thinking about some of the basic stuff that gets jumbled around in our lives on a day-to-day basis, man. Like just random stuff. Like
yes.
I literally felt like I forgot half of this week.
Well, like, dude, I can't even tell you. Like, I don't even think that like I've had to almost schedule my shits because like they're just like I just can't make time. You know, like there's just no time to do anything.
It's like, listen, set a timer. I need to be out of the shower in 4 minutes. Let's go.
Alexa, remind me to take a shit at 7 p.m.
Oh, and don't forget, while you're taking a shit, you're going to have to complete another activity just to get done.
Oh, absolutely.
So
like you're doing
Alexa, overlap schedule of shit with typing email in response to blank. Like, fuck.
I know, dude. It's crazy. It's insane. You know, like, and I don't know what it is, man. I also have this weird thing that, like, I don't know about you. Like, there's two sides of me, right? There's the side of me that's very logical, and then there's the side of me that's just like off the wall. Like, logic does not make sense, right? And for the most part, I like to live in the logical side, right? Like, but
Until you
there's
forget about that shit.
until I forget about it. But there's one thing, man, that's been like really getting to me, which is time. Time has gotten to me. Okay, let me explain to you. So I feel, and I don't know if it's because I'm older. I don't know if it's because like I just again I have a lot of things to do, but normally it's not as crazy as it has been this week. But overall, I feel that like somebody fucked with time. Like there was a new employee, right? That was supposed to like handle daylight saving, right? And they're like, okay, Johnny, at
Oh, you mean I
2.
wasn't supposed to delete those 4 hours from the day?
Thank you. Okay.
Fuck!
So like right. So like at like 2 a.m. they were like, okay, Johnny, we know this is your first day. Just remember 2 a.m. you gotta hit Control Alt Enter, right? That's what you gotta do. I feel that like Johnny went in there and just like started hitting every fucking key on the keyboard.
He just
And then
started
all of
hitting
a sudden, right,
delete.
right. And then I feel that like we went from having a 24-hour day to like an 18-hour day. But like
Dude,
there's
there's
still
times where I feel like it's a 9-hour day.
right. But they still sell it to you as like a 24-hour day, right? Like your watch still tells you that it's like midnight, but midnight in reality is like 3 a.m.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
But it's on like a constantly evolving, getting worse type thing.
Yes.
At least that's how it's been for me throughout the week, man.
Yes. And I didn't know if that was just me or not, but like I've felt that
I
for
think
a
it's because
while
we're
now.
old.
Oh,
Or getting older.
oh,
Sorry. I know we're not that old. It's fine.
shit,
Um,
shit, shit,
that's the only thing that I can really
shit.
attribute it to, man. And I will say that at least one point this week, I did take 2 hours and just slow down. And it was actually kind of a big deal. I went and played 9 holes of a par 3.
Oh, nice,
Um, and
nice.
for all of you that don't know, the reason why that's a big deal is like 3 months ago, I had rotator cuff surgery.
3 months ago,
And
Brandon had a sex change,
no,
and he ended up getting a club installed as a penis,
yeah,
and he's been clubbing.
dying to try it out. Dying.
I don't know where I was
So
going with that.
anyway, so that was a huge deal to me. But I think that's important. Kind of the reason why this ties in is because I think even on those weeks where it's absolutely insane, you got to take 5 minutes or you got to take an hour. You got to take, because I'll be honest with you, I feel like after we're at the end of the week and then throughout the weekend and moving forward from there, I can take that little bit of a breath then. Not really, but at least it's just family stuff, that has to be done. And then, start back over next week and try to make it not so bad.
See, okay. First of all, fuck you for saying that I'm old. That's with all due respect, though. Like with all
With
due
all
respect.
due respect.
With all due
That means you can
respect.
say whatever you want.
Right. Right. Yeah, so with all due respect, fuck you, because you're right. I am old.
With all due respect,
And
I
probably right with
deserve
all due respect. No harm intended, but fuck you. But in reality, you're right. I think it might be to the fact that I'm old and I'm getting older. But why is that? Like, why do I feel that? Is it because like I just have a lot of shit going on, or is it because I'm more in tune with everything that's happening? So I feel that like a lot of things are happening so fast. Is it because things aren't happening fast enough and I believe that they are? Like what makes being older the trigger point to you feeling like time is just your enemy?
Well, I think that part of it is this is typically where we're at in the stage of life. I feel like we're at that midlife, where a lot of people used to say, "Oh, they're going through a midlife crisis," right?
Mhm.
I think that looks very different today than it did 15 years ago.
Okay, explain. I want to hear this.
For guys like us, I don't think we are going to go out and buy
like a
Ferrari
Corvette,
or a
right?
Corvette or something like that. I just don't think that's going to be it. I think part of it is us doing this podcast. I think part of it is just being more exploratory with our daily lives and in different things. Because I don't know about you, but I've had those moments where you sit and think like, man, if you double my age right now, I probably won't be here then. You know what I mean? Because I know every now and then you get in that deep space in your mind and you start thinking about stuff like that. And then I think that just emphasizes the time thing.
Right. So like you're almost like limiting yourself even more, right?
Right.
Okay.
So you're like limiting yourself even more, and then you're just constantly thinking about that timing in your head, like, wow, I'm already this old, and then, you know, how much longer do I have? And then did I really accomplish anything, or do I need to do other things, or do I need to do something with my career, my life, where I live, whatever? You know, you go through those thought processes, and then it puts you in that mindset when you're making other decisions throughout the day. You know,
okay.
it kind of puts you in that mindset where you're like, yeah, I got time for that. I got time for that. I got time for that. Instead of, you know, and you want to get done faster, so you do more, and then you really don't have any time that day. And then if you go at it at a very slower pace, you start your week off after a weekend. You know, you had a little bit of rest, relaxation, hopefully hung out with the family, whether it's, you know, I know you guys do baseball, we do softball, the whole 9 yards. You wind up being able to slow it back down a little bit, and then you don't feel as crazy because you're not thinking about every second the next week.
Got it. Okay. So basically what you're saying is that if anybody comes up to me in the next week or so and they say to me, hey, Nelson, can you do this? I go, hey, with all due respect, fuck you, but I'm not going to
Exactly.
do it because I don't have time.
Right.
Got it. Okay. No.
Yeah.
No.
You just need to be more stern with telling people, no, I'm not going to fucking do that.
No. I hear what you're saying. And I actually think, you know, I think you're right because I mean, I've always thought about like how long do I have left on this earth? Always, right? Since
right.
I can remember as a kid. But you're right.
But when you're a kid, you're like, damn, that shit's far away.
Right.
I'm good. I could jump off this rock and I still got time.
Right.
I could grow a leg back. I'm good.
Right. No, I'm with you. Like, and then as an adult, like you're almost like, okay, am I going to make it past 50, right? And then you're like, well, fuck, 50 is only like 13 more years for me, right? Like, oh my God, I got to make everything that I can happen. Almost like, did you ever see that movie Yes Man by Jim Carrey? Like, yes. Okay, so like that, right? Where like everything that he says is yes. So we're almost forced to say yes because we think that we're not going to be able to do it at a later time. And we want to be able to like take advantage of it. Hence, we end up, you know, double booking, triple booking ourselves. And then time just flies by because, again, we don't have the time that we once did have when we were younger.
Right.
Okay. And that makes perfect sense. And again, you know what? Like this episode is going to be called fuck you with all due respect, because I'm going to say fuck you with all due respect again for being right, because you're right. But with all due respect,
with all due respect, go fuck yourself. It's fine. So yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the biggest things, right? Is I often sit back and try to think about, am I where I'm supposed to be in my life?
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty often do that because I want to make sure that I have as many experiences as I possibly can get out of the time that I have. Now, that doesn't make up for all the bad decisions I've made doing that in the past.
Right.
You know, but at the same time, I think it's that constant battle. But then there's little pieces of that too that, like, I know you work very hard, I work very hard, or I work a lot, you work a lot, you know. But then when we really do get to unplug and enjoy that time, it's almost easier for me to unplug completely and enjoy that time with the family or do whatever, and then just poke in where I need to. So there is some good to being able to handle stuff like that. I think it's definitely helped me in my professional career. It's helped me in life in general, just deal with bullshit a little bit, which is ultimately like we're all going through it.
Right.
So you gotta kind of know how to deal with it.
No, that's great advice, man. Like, you know, and kind of like thinking about it as a whole, you know, like I was kind of pondering like the feeling that I get when I actually do commit to things and then I can't deliver on those commitments. Like, do you ever feel like you just let people down all the time?
I almost feel like that every day.
Right. Like, and again, I don't know if it ties back to the fact that like we are in this place where we're like, I got to get the shit done. So then you say yes to everything, and then you end up like again double booking, triple booking yourself, and then when you can't do it, then you feel like the worst human being possible, and you feel like you're a piece of shit, even though like you did like 90,000 things, but the one thing that you couldn't do is the one that like triggers you throughout the day.
Oh, absolutely. And then like the fact that that one thing, even if that one thing was halfway done, it still will eat at you for the rest of the day. But yeah, man, I think, you know, I think we also struggle with because I can remember as a kid, right? And I kind of want to try to I kind of try to think about it like this all the time where it's like, okay, remember when you had time when you came home from school to hang out, play video games, do whatever, then you eat dinner, and then you had a little bit of time before you go to bed, and then you go to bed. It seemed like you had forever when you got home from school till the time you went to bed.
Right.
Like, dude, if you'd have asked me when I was 11 years old, I probably could have ran to another state and back in that amount of time.
Right.
Like that's like time to go on vacation type shit. And now it's like that same amount of time. So many things happen without me even intentionally doing them
Right.
in that period of time. And I think that's another problem that I have is I get stuck in a routine. And then even when I accept other tasks, I still stick to my routine on the normal stuff that I do too, which that throws
but then okay, but
face.
right, that's what I was gonna say. But doesn't that fuck up your routine?
Oh, absolutely.
Like, and then you end up feeling completely lost because not only did you ruin your routine, but you also are ruining the things that you committed to doing on top of the routine.
And then you're just out of whack completely.
Why do we do that?
I don't know. That's the thing I can't figure out is why. Like, I've kind of analyzed myself to know what happens, but I don't know why. I literally have no idea what. Fear? That's the only thing I could think of is fear.
That's what I'm thinking too. Like what? Because for example, right, there are times when somebody has said to me, you know, hey, dude, can you pick up that FedEx box at the FedEx facility on your way home from work, right? And then, like, in my mind, I go, well, fuck, the FedEx facility is like 40 minutes away. I still have to go take Alex to practice. I still got to do some work. I still got to like cook dinner. I still got to pay this bill. Oh, and I got to do that in like 30 minutes. All right, yeah, I can do it. You know what I'm saying? And then you're like,
Yeah.
like in your mind, you're like, no, you can't.
You feel like a badass when you're making that decision, though. Like,
right. But then, as soon as you spit it out, and you're like, yes, I can. Like the other side of you is like, you fucking idiot. Like, why did you? You can't do that. Like, you're not gonna be able to make it happen. And then now you're faced with like trying to fit that thing in, and you make it happen regardless, right? Like somehow, by some miracle, it happens. And then you go through the same shit over and over again. I can't figure out why.
Yeah, but like you make that one thing happen, and then you're like, okay, I don't have to make dinner. I'll just stop and grab something. Right. And then you sit there, and later that day, you'll be like, why did I agree to say that? Which then made me eat out, and now I'm gonna get even fatter. And now, dude, I do it all the time.
But I don't understand why we do that. Like, why? Like, and again, right? Like, if you're listening out there and you're like, okay, I don't have that problem, tell me what it is that goes through your mind. And if you do have this problem, also let us know like why it is that you accept these things that are not going to be possible for you to do, or not even, let me take that back. It's not even the possibility that's the issue. It's the stress factor that you're adding to yourself just to make it happen. And that's the part that I don't understand, why as human beings we do that, let alone why you and I do that.
I have not yet been able to figure it out. So please, if you're listening and you know, come talk to us. You could be a guest on the show, please.
Yeah, and
Like,
if
I literally can't figure it out, and like I said, it is fear, but I can't even articulate what the fear is. Like, I can't even tell you,
right,
because
like
it's so many things piled together. It's like, I don't want to be a failure. I don't want to be a piece of shit. I don't want to do this. I
don't want to be a bad father.
I don't want to be a
like
bad
even
father.
Though, even though the
fired.
FedEx box has nothing to do with you being a good
Right.
father, but you're like, I'm gonna be a bad father.
Right. And you just walk around with this self-guilt of like, I fucked this up.
I'm a piece of shit. I suck. And then that's when you look at yourself in the mirror and you go, with all due respect, fuck you.
Right, exactly. You're saying it to yourself because 15 minutes later that you did that shit to yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And but again, I don't know why it is that I do that. But like the weird thing about me, man, like I've always been like this. I can't even tell you, like I can't even like go back. Like, you know how sometimes when you do therapy, like people go like, hey, go back to when you're 8 years old and try to think about what the trigger point is. Like, I can't even think about what my trigger point is. Like, I feel like I've always been like this. I always try to get things done. And maybe I just have a problem where like I like to please people. So I tend to overload myself in order to make that happen. And even sometimes to my own detriment, right? Like you explained earlier that like, you do the situation where you end up doing all those tasks and then you stop by a fast food joint in order to get food. And then afterwards you're like, well, fuck, I fucked myself up. There are times, dude, where like I've committed to doing all these things and I don't even have time to eat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? and then like I'm sitting there like talking to myself.
You legit forgot that you didn't eat.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But then you're sitting there talking to yourself going like, maybe, you know what? Maybe I didn't deserve to eat. Like I didn't get all my tasks done, so I didn't deserve to eat. Like what kind of fucking mentality is that?
Dude, and that's what I'm saying. I think taking the time for yourself as a person is very important. Like I know with me, one of the ways that I've battled this, exactly what we're talking about, is committing to a hobby. Like, and I went through a period of time where that really wasn't that important to me. Like, but now it's kind of important because at least while I'm doing that one thing, whether it's golf, shooting, whatever else, you have, even if it's 35 minutes of doing something related to that, you can literally shut everything else down and then force everything else to restart before you got to think about it again. That's the only way I've actually been able to get through it, because it's like I treat my brain kind of like a computer.
Well, no, like, and you know, like that's actually really cool because you are teaching yourself to appreciate yourself, right? Because like you're also allowing for you to be first, right? Because most of the time, like knowing you and I know definitely myself, like I'm not like that. Like don't get me wrong, like I'm selfish in certain areas. I'm 100%, but for the most part, and I think we talked about this in another episode briefly, where we talked about how like we also feel compelled that if we buy something for ourselves, we need to buy something for somebody else. Absolutely. Right? Like this kind of ties into that whole matter where like you just feel like you want to help and you feel like if you have the time, you're going to do it. But what you're saying is actually very smart because you're taking the step back to pamper yourself, treat yourself good, make yourself slow down, and then also make yourself say no to the rest of the world to take care of yourself, which I don't think I do enough of.
And honestly, I felt like I wasn't doing enough of it for the longest time, man. Like, We're the same, like me and you. I know there's probably 100 other people or 1,000 other people, maybe even more than that, that you don't actually take the time for yourself. I mean, I don't go on vacation. We go on vacations like every 3 or 4 years. Like,
Mhm.
it's not all the time. We don't get time to truthfully like unwind and decompress from everything in the world. And again, the fear pokes in there a little bit because you don't want to take too much time off because then you can't afford to do blah blah blah, and you go down that road.
Right.
But making the commitment to do something that you truthfully are interested in and you like, and really making the commitment to do it, and then going and doing it and shutting everything else down, to me, that's the only way I can stay sane.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
I had a really hard time going through the recovery process of my surgery and everything like that because I couldn't do any of the things. Like, I didn't think I was going to be able to play golf at all this year. And I was like
Mhm.
already bummed out going into it, like pissed
Right.
off about that all the time. Now it's like the doctor told me I should go play golf. I was kind of excited.
No, I think you're right, man, and I think I need to practice a little bit more of that. Like, I tend to do it every now and then, um, but I don't think that I do it enough religiously, to where I have something that, like, I'm going to be like, on this day, I'm gonna do it for myself, right? Like, I don't have that, and I think maybe that's the reason why time just feels so fast for me as well all the time, right? Because, like,
Right.
it's okay to feel like time is going fast, like 80% of the time, but like you need that 120% where you're just like, let me think.
Right.
Let me try to, like, digest everything that just happened. Because honestly, I can tell you that this week I have not digested anything that I've done. I mean, like, I can probably recite what I've done, but even then, I've probably, like, will miss a couple things here and there. Um,
Or
but
you
again,
don't realize how big of a deal it is what you did.
or that, yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Like, yeah, I just rewired the whole house, no big deal.
Well, and it's funny is that, like, so my boss this week, so I have, like, this touch point with him like once a week. Um, but I had a touch point with him, and one of the questions that he asked me was like, what are some things that you feel you did well this week? Dude, I could not answer that. And it's not because I didn't do a lot, because I did a lot. It's just the fact that, like, all of it seemed not rushed, because it wasn't rushed, but it just seemed like I had to fit it in. And I can't honestly say at my gut that I did it well, right? Like, it would, like, obviously, again, like, it was completed, the task was done, like, I submitted the specific project, right? But, like, I didn't take the time to actually digest what happened to even say it was successful, right? Like, for example, right? Like, if I were to, like, kind of, go into your world a little bit, right? With, like, the towing business, right?
Yep.
Like, for example, like, let's say that, like, you had to get 4 cars, right? That you were assigned for the night. Well, you ended up getting 8, right? If somebody were to ask you the question of, do you feel like you did it right? Like, for me, and I don't know for you, but for me, I end up going like, well, okay, I was scheduled 4, but I ended up doing 8, which was double what I was supposed to do. But again, at the core, I can't tell you if, like, I hooked that car up correctly. I can't tell you if I made the right turn over in street number 2 correctly. I can't tell you if I turned on my blinker at the right time on the, like, turning left. I can't tell you any of that. So I can't really,
The details definitely become foggy.
yeah, so I can't verify that I did a good job in it because things are just going so fast. That's the way that I feel, and I don't know about you, but, like,
I
again,
think
I struggle with that
we
anyways,
do.
but
I think we do turn into task machines a little bit in that. I know I do. Is like, okay, give me a list. Give me a
mhm,
list.
mhm, mhm.
Please, God, give me a list because I will make sure everything on that list is done. But yeah, I won't be able to tell you exactly what happened with any of them.
Right, right.
So
Yeah.
I agree. Like, And I don't know, is that like the inner completionist? I don't know how to word that. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know what it is,
and I
but
don't know why. I can't figure it out.
I can't either. And like,
I think this is something that, like, there was some weird stuff going on in the nursery rhymes from when we were a kid or something. And it's just in our brains. I know we talked about a lot of that in a couple of the the beginning episodes about stuff that was just beaten into us as kids, and this might be one of them, man. Like,
that may be it, man. That may
if
be
you
it.
ain't first, you're last. I mean, we live in the Ricky Bobby generation.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. 100%. Speaking of Ricky Bobby, dude, did you know that that one kid that like was yelling, hey, like he was like, hey, Chip, and at the dinner table, that motherfucker died.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I know.
How old is he?
I don't know. Don't know off the top of my head. But yeah, he died.
That's
I don't know. I
sad.
don't know of what. Like, I just saw the article and I was like, you know how like sometimes like you end up coming
That
across
movie
like,
was from like 20 years ago, though.
exactly.
You realize that?
Yeah,
He's got to be a full-grown adult. I don't feel as bad. I still think of that dude as like he was 10 now.
exactly. That's the way that I thought about it, because the way that they said was, Ricky or
Young
Talladega
child
Nights.
from
Yeah,
Talladega
Talladega
died.
Nights actor died, right? And I was like, what? And then like I did the same thing where like I saw the article.
Nelson was like,
oh.
no, Will Ferrell, no.
I was.
And then when you found out it wasn't him, you were just like, all right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Whatever. We can spare that guy. No, that's fucked up. Like, that guy totally got the, with all due respect, fuck you. That's so fucked up.
What do I do with my hands?
What do I do with my hands? I don't know. No, man, this is very interesting because, like, again, these are things that sometimes I don't talk about because I don't know if other people experience it, and then I don't want to feel like a weirdo putting it out there, except that I'm putting it out there right now, which is kind of contradictory. But
yeah, but I think part of what we're doing here is, helping ourselves get out of our own way a little bit, like, and then just encouraging other people to do the same. So, like, whether or not we show them, we all have emotions. You run through all those emotions every single day of your life. And I think I hold back mine all the time, but there's times where I'm like ready to break down. There's times where I'm, a comedian, just one-liner after one-liner about every single thing around me in my life. And it's hilarious. But I don't know, man. I think it's okay to open up and talk about them from time to time and just kind of get some of it off your chest. Because if you don't, like, I mean, I feel better after every single time we record one of these things.
No. Oh, no, I do.
That's one of those things that by opening my mouth and talking about stuff that, a lot of this stuff, I haven't talked to anybody else. You know what I mean? And I feel like I'm throwing it out to the world.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And that's where I enjoy this too. And again, right, like the reasons why I don't talk about them sometimes is because like I never know how ridiculous my thoughts are. Because again, there are times
where,
that
like, thing where like you're in your head and you're so like irritated about that one thing, and then you finally do say it out loud to somebody else, even if it's like a day later when you're not that irritated about it. You say something to somebody else and they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" and then like you said it out loud, so you're like, yeah,
like you're like, how do I take that one back?
Yeah,
I can't. I'm
not getting that back.
Yeah. No, and that's exactly how I feel on a regular basis. So then, like, I never know when to actually talk about it. Like, like it's that feeling when you write that long ass text, right? And you're like, blah, 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 blah. And then like you write, it's like a fucking paragraph long. And then you get to the bottom of the paragraph and you're like, they're not going to give a shit. Why am I even writing this?
Right. Or like,
and then you delete, but it was like a real profound message, but then you have to delete all that shit. That is what I feel like on a regular basis.
Oh yeah. And like, dude, you write that text message and then you're like, I don't even know if that makes sense. And then you're like, yeah, it makes sense, but they're not going to get it anyway. Delete. And then you're like, what do I do?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
and I feel like that a lot, man. A lot.
I do too, and that's where, like, again, I find it soothing because I I feel like if I throw whatever out here, like, you're gonna either like ride with it, or you're just gonna like try to like guide me towards something else. Not necessarily just be like, okay, that was stupid. I don't really do that. You know what I'm saying?
How about trying this, bud?
Right.
Try something else. This is what I do.
Right. like you're usually like, okay, that's cool, but that's weird. But how about you try this instead?
As the paramedics walk in and take notes.
Right. Right.
Hey,
No,
you need
dude.
to come with us.
You're going to the loony bin. That's
you're real fucked up for that.
Right. No, like there are several things that go through my mind that sometimes like I can't find explanations for. Like, and like I said, this is one of them. The whole aspect of, you know, adding things to my list to try to get them completed, to try to like fulfill a favor for somebody else. Like, I try to do that at all possible. And yes, I realize that some of it comes from me trying to please others. And sure, like you mentioned earlier, right? Some of that stuff was probably beat into us, right? Like subconsciously, or, you know, however, right? Subliminal or even direct. They would have like made us do that. But I still want to know why I don't break from it. Like, why don't I just go, okay, that's stupid? Because, for example, right, like if I put my hand on the stove and the bitch is hot, I'm not gonna put my hand on the stove ever again, right? But with this,
you do
I
it
end
over
up
and over again every day.
Yes. Dude, and I don't get it. And I don't know if it's because maybe we're chasing the good feel, right? You know, the feeling when you find, like, when you accomplish everything, right?
Yeah.
Everything that's on your list, like you almost like
That
lay down
dopamine
it.
dump.
Yeah, like you lay down at night, and then like you're like, did I forget something? And then you're like, no, I didn't. Like, I actually,
I got
fuck,
it all done.
and I got time to eat, and I got time to like chill, and I can watch TV, and I can, like, you know, like, and you keep adding things. Like, I think that moment is such a good feel that we chase it, right? The problem is that like the odds of feeling that are against us, right? Like, we're more prone
Before
to
we
feel.
even started.
Yes, we're more prone to fail than we are to make it. But I think we're choosing to chase that one little feeling that it's like a 2-second feeling. It's not even like a long time.
It doesn't even last for a while.
No. Yeah, I don't know
That
if maybe
feeling
that's
can
what it
only happen while you're pooping.
is.
That's the only time we got time for you to double book.
That's so true, man. That's so true. It is. You know what it is? I think the pooping aspect allows you to have time for yourself.
Right. In with the good, out
In
with the bad.
Right.
You know,
That was very
very
philosophical.
zen.
Very zen. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck. Like, I feel like that's some shit that they would put like in front of like one of those green tea bottles. Like, as a slogan.
Oh, we just came up with a new slogan for a cleanse.
Oh my god.
Oh boy.
No, dude, I really think that you nailed it there, and that explains some of it. You know, like, again, if you're listening and you want to like let us know if you deal with this, let us know. And I realize,
and if you want to let us know that we're both just insane, that's fine too.
Right. But again, with all due respect, fuck you.
Fuck you.
If that's the case. But
you know, with medium level respect.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Like,
because you're probably full of shit or rich, one of the two.
Right. Like it's
or
like
both.
It's like a fuck you where like I'm gonna ding your door.
Like, I meant that.
Right. Like, I ding the door, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. Like, I'm just gonna I'm gonna look around and like that happened. Like, that's the kind of like fuck you I'm giving you right now.
Mm-hmm. But not like in your face, fuck you though.
No. And I'm not even,
not
and
quite
I'm not even talking about like, you know, opening the door with aggression and like fucking like leaving a
just
dent. I'm talking
dink.
about dinging it. Yeah.
Right.
Like that kind, like the one where like you almost go like, did that motherfucker hit my car? Like that. Not the one where like they go, this
they totaled
bitch.
it.
Yeah. right. Not like that. It's a simple this motherfucker hit my car. But no, man, like I definitely have a lot of these moments that I would like to continue sharing, you know, through this whole thing, because again, like to me, they just seem very unique and they seem almost insane. But now that I'm hearing that you also deal with some of this stuff, and even other people maybe dealing with it as well, it helps me cope or at least understand where I'm coming from with it.
Well, and a big thing that it does for me is like, so one of the things that I think it ties in is that like I want to be close to other people too, right? Like that's part of why I agree to do so many things, because like you said, you want to satisfy other people and you feel like, oh well, if I do these things for these people, then they're gonna give me that attention that I'm looking for too at the same time, and they're gonna, you know, love me or whatever it is, whatever you need them to do in that moment for whatever reason. You know, if it's your boss, they respect you and they're gonna, you know, you're gonna keep moving up in the company. If it's your significant other, oh, they're gonna love me more if I do all these things. And they're like, I didn't care about any of that.
Right.
I just wanted you to do this thing that I asked you to do.
Right. No,
and I'm already like, that's the worst part is, and then you feel like you're like, man, I'm getting yelled at, but I'm being way more hard on myself than they could ever be. Don't worry.
You know, that's another layer to this problem that's like really big for me too, is the fact that like if for example, like if I can't get to the person's task, right, and they say to me, don't worry about it, right, like it's okay, you know, we'll figure it out, that makes me feel worse. Oh, like I'd rather you go, you fucking piece of shit, you told me you were gonna do it done, right? Like I'd rather hear that, because when you like actually like, and this is where it's really fucked up, because I say this right now where I prefer for you to tell me that I did fuck up. But the reality is that I really don't want to hear about it. Like either way, I don't want to hear about it. But
really what I want to hear is, oh, I understand you're busy.
Right. Exactly. Like
I probably should have handled that myself. I apologize. That's what I want to hear. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. That's what this. You say that to me, you won.
Right.
You win.
No, I can't even top that. I think you nailed it in the head. That's exactly what I want to hear too. Like I don't want to hear that I made the mistake, because I know it, and I'm already like killing myself at the fact that I made the mistake.
Trust me, I was punished.
Right. Like I am in like Nelson hell right now while you're trying to explain to me what happened. But you're right. Like really what I want to hear is somebody just go, you know what? I knew you had a lot going on. I might as well should have taken it I could have taken care of it myself. Like that's what I want to hear.
Right.
But yeah, man, again, it's so weird. Human nature's weird. How we interact is fucking crazy.
I think one thing that I want to bring attention to is how most of us, myself included, are so selfless on the outside, but so selfish mentally. I do that shit all the time. Where like I won't say what the thought comes into my head, just like I just said. Like what I'm really looking for is
right.
It's my fault that I asked you to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
but have you ever thought about though, like what would people actually say, or how would they react if you were to 100% be honest with them? Like, and I'm talking about honest to the core, like whatever comes to mind. Like if somebody says to you, like, you know, hey Brandon, can you go to FedEx? And like you just go, nope, I don't fucking feel like it.
That, or there's no possible chance that I'm actually going to be able to get that done.
Right.
And you know what? I think it's amazing that you brought that up. So, because I think I have found recently, and maybe that kind of follows along with taking that time for myself as an assistance thing in this whole thing. Maybe that being more honest with the people around me is a little more important. And maybe that's what we should practice a little bit more, and that might lighten that load just a hair.
So if we just went,
we might have figured out the answer.
We might have. So if we just go no,
that, or if we start finding creative ways to say no,
like with all due respect,
like with all due respect, the only way I'm getting that done if it's next Thursday.
With all due respect,
that, or like when somebody asks you to do something, be like, yeah, I'm gonna need you to send me a calendar invite on one of the days that's not blocked off. I'll take care of it for you.
I'm gonna have you book a day where like you're free and you can do it for yourself, because I haven't.
Exactly. And they go to book it on your calendar and it's like 2027.
Right.
Like, well, I guess I'm doing it. That was the idea.
For like, go to the grocery store for milk. Like, that's the task. And it's like, yeah, I can only do it till 2027. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't have time.
Hopefully somebody's cow gets free, because that's the only way that's going to
happen. If not, we go back to what, our episode 1, Amazon Prime, baby.
Right.
Amazon Prime.
Dude, and I think Amazon has the answers to our questions. I mean, if you think about it, because that's a thing. I mean, that's a business plan to be all encompassing. You know what I mean?
It is, man. It is. You know what it is? Like, I think Amazon brought the convenience store to you.
Well, and I got to give props to Jeff Bezos and I almost don't feel as bad, because obviously him or someone in his circle has had to have felt the way that we do about things in order to know that they need to schedule around that.
Yeah, absolutely, dead on.
Like the R&D team. Love you, boo-boo.
That's on point. Yeah. You know what? The R&D team at Amazon, they're part of the WADs.
Absolutely. I don't know about Jeff Bezos, though.
Yeah, I don't know, but no, Jeff Bezos can. Yeah, he's too filthy fucking rich, and it doesn't. Yeah, no.
Do you know that there's mathematical equations built around how rich that man is?
That's crazy.
So, like, if you walk down the street and you see $1 on the ground, right? You're gonna pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much money would have to be laying on the ground for it to actually be worth it for Jeff Bezos to bend over and pick it up? The number is stifling.
10 mil.
No, not that much.
Okay,
but it'd have to be like, I think the number is somewhere in the neighborhood of $300,000.
That's still high as fuck.
So exactly.
So 300,000 for him is like $1 for us to grab off the ground. That's crazy.
Right.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Like, it's not even worth it for him to stop and walk 3 more feet this direction to go pick that up. It's more than my house costs.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Oh, it's worth it for me to just pick up this house and walk away.
Right.
Oh, you're like, you only got like, shed money?
Right. You're like, hey Jeff, can you pick that up though and just give it to me? Because like I could pay off.
I could use that. I can use that.
I can.
Like you don't. It's not worth it for you to get the 200 that's laying on the ground right there.
Right.
I'll take care of it. Don't worry.
You know what? Like Jeff, just tell me where it is
for you.
I'll go pick it up. And this is how we end up with extra
I'm gonna spend it on Amazon anyway.
This is how we end up with extra tasks. Did you hear that? Like we're like, I'm gonna go get it for you.
Right. Because we could be of value to Jeff Bezos.
Right. Meanwhile, he's like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck these guys. No, dude, I really have been like hit with some reality in this episode. So
this is one of our more serious ones.
This is a serious one. I
don't know if we're gonna get a whole lot of belly laughs on this one.
No. I don't. Yeah, we're not getting the knee slap belly chuckle. Like, no, we're not gonna get that. But we are gonna get is hopefully, hopefully, people that will give us insight into their mindset and tell us how they cope with this shit, and then even tell us if, like, again, if we belong in the loony bin, or
I mean,
if
hey, we might just be babies. I don't know.
maybe, I don't know. I don't think so though.
I don't know.
I don't.
There's
Yeah, I don't
somebody
know.
out there that's like, you need to man the fuck up.
Oh, I'm pretty sure. There's somebody out there laughing at me right now. Just
And
being
to
like,
be
"You
all
fucking
honest,
little
to be
bitch."
completely honest, I do want to say there are some people out there that are probably going through it way worse than we are. My heart's out to you. I hope that maybe one day something we say here might affect you in a good way, and we're obviously not trying to outdo somebody in that direction. But I just wanted to say that real quick, because
I like that.
realistically, it's not too terrible. We both live pretty comfortable lives.
I like that. That was, dude. That was like the more you know type of shit. Like you came in here with like the more you know by Brandon. No, that was good, man. That was really good. But no, so here's what I'm walking away with this episode. I'm walking away that I need to do more for myself. I need to learn to say no. Respectfully.
With all due
with
respect.
all due respect. I also need to be able to just tell people the truth, right?
I think I'm going to make a conscious agreement with myself to be more realistic about my situation when it comes to everybody else.
All right,
Be more open about it.
Okay, I have a challenge for you this week. Let's try it. Let's try it this week on our own. We will be realistic as fuck to people, right? So if somebody says, "Hey, can you go do this?" We're gonna be like, "I can't because that's when I have to go eat. Like I have my lunchtime around that time."
Right.
Like just be brutally honest, right? Like just
Brutally
be like,
honest.
yeah, just I'm not gonna do it because I don't really feel like it. Like that's like my only free time that I have, so I don't feel like it. I'm not gonna do it.
Agreed.
All right, we're gonna try it for 1 week. Then maybe we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Because I think it's gonna go one extreme or another.
Yeah. It like
I think you're either gonna see 5 episodes next week because we don't have jobs anymore. From all that performance punishment we got going on over here.
Right.
Or who knows? We may come back and feel like we figured it all out, guys. We might have some answers for everybody.
Hey, we're doing the dirty work to help you out.
We're doing research. This is market research.
This is science.
Science.
This is science.
Science.
Yeah. So
maybe, dude. How cool would that be if we could get and of course now I'm not gonna remember the guy's name.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
I mean, I would love to have Bill Nye the Science Guy on the show.
Bill Nye would be fucking awesome.
Bill Nye would be amazing. We could be scientists along with Bill.
Oh yeah.
Like that would be a childhood dream for me.
Oh, me too, dude. Me too.
Did you ever him or like so it's come up lately that sorry to go off on a tangent. We're getting ready to wrap up here, but it's come up lately that I guess people of our generation were attracted to Miss Frizzle. I just wanted to ride in the flying school bus. I'm just saying.
To Miss Frizzle?
Yeah.
Dude, Miss Frizzle was the shit.
She was awesome.
Like, okay, I don't think I was attracted to Miss Frizzle, but I would be her friend.
Absolutely. She had a cool school bus, bro.
Flying school bus. For sure. Miss Frizzle was the shit.
Amazing.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now now we're going off tangents. Maybe you know what? I think we should have a cartoon episode.
Oh,
it's because we can get into that. Because we can get into that. So let's save it. I'm gonna say what I was gonna say.
This is a sneak peek. All right.
This is a sneak peek. Yeah. So yeah, with all due respect, would you have banged Miss Frizzle? Would you?
With all due respect, you'll have to wait until the next episode to find out.
There you go. There you go. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, help yourself. Help yourself. Love yourself. Figure some shit out that you like to do. As Brandon said, you have to take the time to do some shit for you. You got to.
And be honest, folks. Be honest.
Be honest.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. On that note,
we out.
Peace.